Let me know if this is you. You like to know what's going to happen so you can prepare yourself to avoid getting hurt or at least to minimize the possibility. You like being in control of the situation. When you have a problem, you create an even bigger one by overanalyzing it and often imagining unlikely scenarios. Sometimes you lack confidence, but you enjoy a meaningful conversation and you absolutely hate small talk. And in some aspects of life, you're a perfectionist. If any of this sounds like you, I get it. I was guilty throughout my life of all of this, but here are 5 concrete ways that I found to stop overthinking. Number 1, enjoy the chaos. Life is unpredictable. There's basically a 50-50% chance of waking up alive. We never know what's going to happen. You might be hit by a car tomorrow. You might find the love of your life tomorrow or today. We just never really know what's going to happen, and that's the harsh truth. Most of the things we can't control, but that's wonderful. Surprises can be scary, but they can be a delight as well. There's an amazing quote that's attributed to Reinhold Niebuhr, and it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Second, embrace the failures. Have you ever played a video game? How many times has your character died until you pass the level? So why should we be perfect and know everything immediately? Don't be too harsh on yourself. Maybe even lower your expectations from the beginning a bit. Learning something new or getting into a new situation is always stressful, but just outside of our comfort zone lies progress. So the sooner you embrace the failures, the sooner you will get better and evolve. I mean, you haven't even learned how to walk immediately. First you had to crawl, you had to grab onto something, then you probably fell a couple of times, and that's just how things go. Just embrace it. Don't try overthinking to avoid failure, because you will never avoid it entirely and you'll just lose energy. Number 3, losing is better than not knowing. Relationships can be a pain, especially when you like somebody and you don't know if they like you back. You think of so many scenarios, you create this maze of thoughts in your mind and you get lost there. Why not just reach out? If you've started something with somebody and you're waiting for that text or call or whatever, why not just ask? Tell them, hey, I want to know where I'm at with you. And this will give them courage to reject you if they want to reject you, if that's what they wanted to do initially. Or this will change the whole thing and you will start talking and you will figure something out. Either way, it's better to get rejected today than to wait a week or 2 weeks and just lose time and never really knowing what's happening. And you know what? That's amazing. I would rather know today where I stand, even if that means being rejected because that hurts a bit, than not knowing at all. Because that's the worst thing that can happen. Then you just lose time, and we can get back a lot of things in our life. We can earn money, we can earn a lot of things, but time lost can never be returned. 4, better safe than sorry. I'll assume that nobody here likes going to the doctor. All of us would rather just take some pills or whatever, lay in our home and wait for the sickness to pass. And the same goes for our thoughts. Why wait around until they're so far gone and so hard to control that we will literally need professional help just to snap out of it? Cut them out before they go too far. So, as soon as you find yourself revisiting old thoughts or going too far, do something that's not very interesting or even maybe unpleasant. So pinch yourself. Start doing push-ups. Start physically writing with a pen and a paper anything besides those thoughts, or even start praying. I remember when I was in high school, I went through this breakup and I just couldn't stop thinking about this girl. I was so sad, depressed, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I decided whenever I start to think about this girl, I was gonna say a Hail Mary. And I really forced myself to, and I was praying nonstop for a couple of days, 3 days, 4 days, but it started getting easier. I started to push those thoughts away, and then later I just very rarely thought about her. So, it's not a very easy thing to do, but if you just, stop it at the beginning, you can do a lot. 5, practice living in the moment. So much harder than it sounds, right? Overthinkers tend to live in the past, or they worry about the future. Needless to say, they don't really have a present. Just forcing yourself to stop and enjoy the small things like the breath of fresh air, the flowers, looking at this bright sky, I don't know, whatever, a sip of coffee, it will save you so much headache. One thing that can help you with practicing this, and that I love doing every night, is trying to remember 3 things that were special about that day. It can be small things like just waking up, being thankful about that. Being grateful for having a roof above my head, maybe being thankful and grateful for a sip of coffee that I had that day. That's already 3 things. And when you start doing this every night or every morning, if that's easier for you, it starts getting easier and easier, and you remember more than just 3 things. This way, we not only practice gratitude, but we also practice focusing our thoughts on the things that really matter and stop overthinking about things that don't matter. Now, I've said 5 things, but let me give you a bonus one because I think you will find this one very interesting. Not all overthinking is bad. What? Overthinkers are usually very detail oriented, and that's a very sought out skill for a lot of jobs. Think video editing, journaling, writing, web development, architecture, you name it. When you can focus on the details and remove things that are unnecessary, or improve a product, or maybe even brainstorm new ideas, that's when overthinking becomes a superpower. What I want to say is, if you're a person that tends to overthink things, learn how to use those powers when necessary. Otherwise, they might start to use you.